Check defrosting system and antifreeze thermostat. Hello, my name is Charumati. I hope you are all excited for today's session. In this module, we are going to learn how to check defrosting system and antifreeze thermostat. At the end of this exercise, you will be able to check the water defrost system, service the water defrost system, check the antifreeze thermostat and unit performance after defrost. Now let us take a look at the equipment, materials and tools required to do this exercise.
Tools or instruments required. Double end spanner 1 set. Adjustable wrench length 250 mm 1 number. Screwdriver 10 mm tip length 200 mm 1 number. Scriber 150 mm 1 number. Mallet 1 number. Series test lamp 1 number. Equipment required. Cold storage plant capacity 5 TR with water. Defrost system and antifreeze thermostat 1 number. Materials required. Clean cloth as required. Teflon tape 1 roll. A properly functioning frost-free system in a refrigerator relies on various components working together seamlessly. At the core of the defrost system lies the defrost control. Typically, this is a mechanical defrost timer, a motor-driven device managing several electrical contacts. Defrost thermostats are common components found in various refrigeration systems, ranging from household appliances to large-scale industrial cold storage facilities. When frost builds up on evaporators, it acts as insulation, reducing system efficiency. This can lead to increased operational costs or potential damage to products due to improper temperature maintenance. These thermostats operate independently of the refrigeration system. Their role is to prevent frost formation on evaporators, thereby avoiding the inefficiencies associated with it. They achieve this by activating either an electrical heating element or a hot gas valve to raise the evaporator's temperature and melt the frost. In any refrigeration process, condensation can accumulate on the evaporator and freeze if temperatures are low enough. This frost layer insulates the evaporator pipes, hindering heat transfer and forcing the system to work harder to maintain the desired temperature. As a result, products may not be adequately cooled, leading to potential losses from faulty items or increased energy consumption, which drives up operational expenses. Defrost thermostats address these issues by periodically melting frost on the evaporator, ensuring moisture levels remain low in the environment. Functionally, defrost thermostats operate within a control loop. They monitor a specific variable and activate the heating element once that variable reaches a predetermined threshold. This variable could be time intervals, evaporator temperature, or frost thickness. Once the specified threshold is reached, the thermostat shuts down the compressor and, if applicable, activates the heating element. Additionally, the thermostat has a second set point to disengage the heating element once peak efficiency is restored, preventing unnecessary energy consumption. Think of each contact as a basic light switch. Instead of controlling lights, one switch connects to the defrost heater circuit, while another connects to the cooling system. When one activates, the other deactivates. A motorized cam on the timer opens and closes these contacts at predetermined intervals. This has 2 cycles of function. Cooling cycle. During the cooling phase, the defrost timer closes a contact in the compressor circuit to initiate its operation. Simultaneously, the circuit to the defrost heater remains open. In this mode, the thermostat, also known as the cold control, regulates the compressor and fan motors, cycling them on and off to maintain the desired temperature. Defrost cycle. The defrost timer eventually switches into defrost mode and supplies power to the defrost heater to melt any frost that has accumulated on the evaporator cooling coil. The cold control contacts remain closed, but since the defrost timer is no longer feeding power to that circuit, the compressor does not run. Once the defrost termination thermostat, aka defrost limit switch, senses a set temperature, it opens the circuit to the defrost heaters, shutting them off. The timer remains in the defrost cycle until the timer advances back to the cooling mode. Since the limit switch is open, the heaters are no longer on for the rest of the cycle. It's applicable across various uses where maintaining a specific temperature threshold in the system is crucial to prevent it from dropping below a designated safety level. Additionally, the thermostat provides automatic protection if there are any issues with the sensor element. Water defrost system, about which we are going to learn about in this exercise, is one among the variations of automatic defrost. Hot gas defrost. This method thaws the refrigerator by using the naturally occurring hot discharge vapor during the defrost cycle. It's known for its efficiency, reliability, safety, and automatic operation, taking less time compared to other methods. During defrosting, the evaporator acts as a condenser, and the hot air, which would typically go into the condenser via the compressor in a regular refrigeration cycle, is redirected back into the evaporator where ice has built up. Implementing the hot gas defrost system requires additional valves for pressure and gas flow control, along with a direct line bypassing the condenser and expansion valve. Water defrost. This system utilizes water to eliminate accumulated ice in the evaporator, employed either automatically or manually depending on the system. It's commonly used in industrial refrigeration setups. In low-temperature refrigerators, the water defrost system applies heat directly to the ice buildup. The melted ice and water then drain into a pan for evaporation. Electric defrost. Electric heating elements placed on the evaporator coils constitute the electric defrost system. It's typically utilized in cold rooms where temperatures drop significantly. While effective, electric defrost systems may take longer to thaw ice since a significant portion of the heat is not directed toward the evaporator. Off-cycle defrost. Off-cycle defrost involves temporarily halting the refrigeration cycle to prevent refrigerant from entering the evaporator. This causes the evaporator temperature to rise, thawing any ice buildup. Once the defrost cycle ends, the refrigeration cycle resumes. The duration of an off-cycle defrost is typically predetermined by a factory set timer. Now, let's see how to check the water defrost system. Procedure. Task 1. Inspect the water defrost system. Determine if the unit has an automatic or manual defrost system. Assess the thickness of ice on the evaporator coil to decide if defrosting is necessary. Record compressor suction and discharge pressure, as well as cold storage room temperature. Obtain approval to halt the unit, considering downtime constraints. If the defrost system is automatic, disable instrument connections and stop the air circulation blower fan. Close louvers or dampers if provided for the evaporator. Open the defrost water circulating valve, close the drain valve, and start the circulating pump. Ensure proper water velocity and check for nozzle blockages. Task 2. Service the water defrost system. Stop the defrost water circulating pump. Open the water drain valve. Use the adjustable wrench and double-end spanners to remove the nozzles. Start the pump and flush out the water line for a few minutes. Thoroughly clean the nozzles and holes to remove any sediment blockages. Ensure free flow by cleaning the drain tray and line. Securely reattach the nozzles using Teflon tape to prevent leaks. Restart the water circulation pump and verify water spray on the evaporator coil. After defrosting, check for any ice blocks between the lines and gently tap them if necessary. Clean dampers or louvers and wait for ice to drain completely. Task 3. Assess antifreeze thermostat and unit performance post-defrost. Disconnect antifreeze thermostat wires. Connect them with a series test lamp and switch on the lamp glow. Allow the lamp to remain off to confirm proper function. Reconnect automatic defrost instrument contacts. Restart the unit following standard procedures, including starting the air circulation blower fan. After 2 hours, record cold storage room temperature and compressor pressures. Compare pre- and post-service parameter readings to evaluate unit performance.
We have come to the end of the exercise. Let us have a recap on what we have learned in this module. We have learned to check the water defrost system, service the water defrost system, check the antifreeze thermostat and unit performance after defrost. Thus, we have learned to check defrosting system and antifreeze thermostat. Hope you have a clear understanding of this. Do this exercise with the help of your instructor. Thank you all. See you in the next video.